And welcome to the Part-Time Nerd Podcast with me, your host, Alan. And I missed you guys last week. Didn't get a chance to catch Doom Patrol episode number 5, but I'm back this week and I'm giving you a twofer on this episode, episodes 5 and 6 of Doom Patrol. Let's jump into episode 5. Episode 5, DADA Patrol. In this episode, we got a lot of stuff going on this. You've got Kay is wanting to go up top, and all the other alters, they want nothing to do with her doing that. But Jane, of course, is like, you know what? Yeah, no, this is part of healing. This is part of getting better. Everything we do is for this little girl. So she's pushing hard for Kay to be able to go up top. She needs to get new shoes. She doesn't have shoes. She realized I don't have shoes. I should go get a pair of shoes. She's like, okay, I can go get them for you. She's like, well, it's been a long time since I've had shoes. I don't even know what size I'd get. Um, so she's like, you know what? Yeah, you can go up there and go buy some shoes. Let's do this. But all the other alters, they don't want anything to do with that. Cyborg, he's continuing to go through his stuff, but he gets his systems go back online. His dad, after everything his dad's put him through and done and just admitted, he's finally like, you know what, screw it. And so he's throwing Cyborg back online, and you get Cyborg uttering his line, "Booyah!" So we actually get a booyah out of Cyborg in this episode. So that was cool. Cliff, after the last episode, he decided, he's going to take this medicine to help with his, what he feels like is Parkinson's. So he orders this medicine online, and he's going through the process of having to take it, and he's reading the bottle, and he's saying he's not going to have, it's not going to do anything for like 3 to 4 months. And Cliff does not have any time for that. He doesn't have the time for that. So what does he do? He dumps like the entire bottle into him. So he ends up taking the entire bottle of the medicine for him, in which he just gets high as hell for doing this and taking this on. And then you've got everything going on with Trainer. He's got that bump. Well, the bump's it's gone, but something something is now moving around. Like he had that like baby bump, right? And it almost looked like he was pregnant. Well, that bump has become something else, and it's actually moving around under his skin, and you see it moving, and it's disgusting. But it's also, you could tell it's very painful for him. Laura, Laura DeMille, she is wanting the Doom Patrol to go and infiltrate the ranks of the Sisterhood of the DADA. And that's what this episode is mostly about. The crew, they're like, I don't know, why would we do that for you? We don't want to do anything for you. She's like, well, the sooner you go do this and find this stuff out, the sooner I can get out of here. And they're like, okay, well, if you're going to leave, then yeah, okay, let's go do it. So they go to where they think the DADA is, and it's really like, you find out they're actually, it's like part of like a subconscious that's inside of Shelly's head. Shelly's the fog, and it's this fog that they go into. Shelly's one of the members of the DADA, and they're inside this world inside her mind, and they've split all the members up, and they're all talking to different people in the DADA, just kind of trying to have conversations with them, and they're trying to find out what the eternal flatulation is, so that they can get this information and get her out of here, get Laura out of here. They don't really find anything out through going through it. They're all going through different things though, like they're asking them who they are, what they are, why they are, all of that, and it's really putting them through the ringer. Like especially like Jane, they're Jane, not only is Jane there, but Kay is there with her, which is odd. And you've got, Shelly's just kind of feeding Kay whatever she wants, giving her candy, giving her ice cream, giving her all of that stuff. And Jane's like, look, leave her alone. This is, you know, I'm in charge of her. I got to make sure everything's taken care of with her. In the meantime, you have all the alters showing up at, it's like an ice cream parlor, and they're showing up trying to get in there to get them out of there. Um, So you've got all that going on. Then when you get back, Rita, they tell Laura, hey, we didn't really find anything out. Sorry about your luck. We we didn't really find anything. Screw the Sisterhood of the Dada, whatever. Um, and her and Rita have a big, huge bonding moment where they're sitting there and they're drinking and they're having fun, and Laura's opening up and telling Rita everything that she's discovered. And she's trying to find out. She's looking at these old videos of her, and she's like, "What?" And Rita's there. She was there, and so she's like, Why were you there? What? I don't remember you." And Rita doesn't remember any of this either. And so they're having this big thing, and Rita determines she's a time traveling superhero, and that's who she is. So, um, there, and she's like, "Well, too bad we can't fix the time machine." And Rita's like, "Well, actually, we can." And she's got the device that she took way back in episode 2, I think it was. Um, and so now they're putting it together. They're getting ready to go, and Rita ends up traveling by herself, without Laura. And Rita's, she's got this bright idea. Hey, I'm a time traveling superhero. This is what I gotta do. This is who I am. And she gets in there, and that's kind of the end of the episode, which is going to take us, boom, straight over to episode number 6. And this is 1917 Patrol. Rita goes all the way back to Iowa in the year 1917, and she runs into the Bureau of Normalcy there. And they end up taking her back to there. Cyborg is this guy's going through so much. Like, this is early on Cyborg. He's really trying to figure out who he is, what he is, um, dealing with everything that he could have had synthetic skin and not been this robot, but that's not what his dad did to him. Cliff is completely gone off the rails, and he's now sitting there playing online poker, um, with a cam girl there with him watching him. Like, on one computer screen is a scam girl that he's paying to be there, and he's playing online poker and some squirrel game. And he's just eventually avoiding just everything. And then you get Jane ends up letting Kate go up top, making sure that none of the alters are seeing that. She ends up getting her up there, and Kate goes up top. Meanwhile, you've got Rita back at the Bureau of Normalcy, going through everything. She starts separating mail, and then she finds out who the sister of the Dada is, and it's everybody. It's everyone there that was there in the future. So she's there in the past in 1917. Everyone was there is there now. If that makes sense. Um, and she just kind of becomes friends with all of them, and then that's when you see when she's there partying with them and having fun. That's when she's recording all these videos. So you have all that going on, and her struggling with not remembering anything, because when you travel time, you don't remember anything. You lose all of your memories. They can come back to a certain extent, but she hasn't had anything come back. um, and it's her going through there and just kind of trying to help all the people in the Sisterhood of the Dada. They're all enhanced, their metas, and trying to help them feel better about themselves and who they are. And that's what a majority of the story is revolving around. And Rita's really, she's different. She has control over her powers. She's happy. She's not tortured, kind of like how she is in present day. So it's cool to see that different side of Rita in it, and seeing a lot of her issues with her powers are all mental. They're all just things that it's all inside of her head, and if she just kind of relaxed, she can control her powers a lot better than what she does. Meanwhile, you've got Kay's going and looking for shoes, and I thought this was funny because, like, she's going and she's heading over to the shoe store, and as she's walking over there, she's a little girl ride by on a cool little bicycle. And so what's Kay do? She proceeds to steal the bike and ride off on the bike and teach herself how to ride a bike. Uh, and you have an interaction where she runs into somebody, and everyone's worried because how is she going to react? She's the mentality of a little girl, right? She's a 7-year old, 8-year old. I don't know what child she is, but she ends up handling it okay and comes back. And when she comes back down to the hive, she's now got a bike with her. Um, and all the other alters are upset with Jane, and she's like, "Look, everything worked out. Everything was good. This is healing. This is what we need to do. This is a good thing." Um, Trainer, he's dealing with. During the last episode, I didn't talk about it, but they end up getting his son. His son's working for the Bureau of Normalcy. He ends up getting him, bring him back to good health, and they get into it, and argue, fight, and Trainer ends up kicking his kid out of there. And meanwhile, where he thought the little thing under his skin, it comes back. So I'm really curious to see what this is. Is this part of the spirit? Did the spirit almost like impregnate him, or give him another spirit that's inside of him that's maybe it's younger, it's infantile, and it hasn't gotten full bore? I don't know. But it definitely has something to do with space and with the spirit, because he doesn't have, all the way back then, the spirit left him, and the spirit's up in space, and now he's back here. Um, Cliff has Cliff has a massive gambling debt. He ran out of all the money, and his camp girls were like, "Well, can't you sell something?" And now he's selling stuff of all of his roommates. He's selling cyborg stuff. Everybody else's. He had someone offer him $50K for the blueprints to and X-rays and schematics for his build, his robot body, and he's like, I can't do that. That's no. But then he's like, you know what? Screw it. Next round of poker's beginning. He needs the money, so he ends up selling it, as along with everything else that he has, so he can keep the party rolling. Uh, and that's kind of where this episode all leaves off. It's this episode is this season's very weird, as there's no real. You haven't really come across like a bad yet. Is it the Sisterhood of the Dada? Are they really planning something? But after everything you see in this episode, I don't really feel like they're planning anything, um, as much as they're just trying to live their lives and feel normal and not have to worry about everybody. So I'm really curious to see where this goes, where it ends up going. Um, but I'm having fun with this season. Again, it's a fun show. It's out there. It's crazy. It's wheels off. You never know what you're going to see or what's going to happen. So, but thank you guys so much for follow, subscribe, share, all that fun stuff. Uh, Comments are always welcome. If you guys, there's anything you want us to watch, want me to watch us, there's just me today. If anything you want me to watch and check out and give you my thoughts on it, shoot me an email, parttimenerd podcast@gmail.com. Until next time, guys, we'll talk to you later. Deuces.